You know, it's interesting. The energy of getting on this live with you all. Hello. Thanks for joining. Yeah. So today is the last of this Facebook Live series I've been doing. So thank you everyone that's been coming along for the adventure this summer. We have been doing writing prompts and kind of exploring like self-love and self-worth in a totally different way. And wow, being like the last one, it's interesting. And you'll see sometimes this if you attend workshops or like classes, especially energetic classes, is that sometimes things will seem lighter and then they get like heavier. And that can be that you've gone into a deeper layer. And this morning, the more I kept putting my attention on this live with you guys and these writing prompts, like the heavier it got, not from heavy to come here and hang out with you guys, but as in we're going deeper. We're going into the deeper layers today. To kind of probably have our like grand finale of this summer romance experience. So how deep are you willing to go? Hello. How deep are you willing to go into like falling deeply, madly in love with yourself? So I think it's time. I think we start with some writing prompts. So hello, beautiful. Today I wanted us to just like start with like our warming up our writing skills, and I want you to write down some descriptive words of something in nature that you find just like so spectacular, like so beautiful, so magical. Like for me, it might be like, I love like when you walk into a space and then like all of a sudden there's a waterfall, you know? Yeah, I have a thing about waterfalls actually. Just kind of acknowledging that now. For other people, it might be a mountaintop. And that view, you know, you're the top of the mountain and you look out and it's just epic. It's gorgeous. Other people might be beach or the ocean. Okay. And I feel like I want to change up this music. No, I love that song. It's just not like working with my nature vibe right now. Oh, I see. We're in the wrong playlist, although this one's fun. You guys like this? Okay. So I'm going to let the writing music play, and you're going to, so just some descriptive words. You can just write down words like a list. You can get into more like, you know, like to talk about the colors, talk about the shape, the lines, the like energy and that it invokes, the remembrances. Okay, so we're going to write about some spectacular piece of nature. From this up, you guys can hear it. So good. And just keep going as you're describing these, like the beauty and the energies. Maybe a little story starts to pop up. Maybe you arrive there, maybe you interact, maybe you engage. Just kind of like play with it. Just play with it for a minute. Hello. Hello. Thanks for joining. We're just doing some writing prompts together. I'm warming up for the big finale. Have you guys noticed? I'd actually love to hear from you, especially if you've been here through the eight weeks, I think it was. Yeah. Just a different way of including yourself or caring for yourself. Like sometimes it's really cognitive, the change. Like I'm going to go to a money class, and then you go to a money class, and then your money stuff changes, and you're like, yeah, that class helped me change my money stuff. That's so great. With this, I'm finding like just this ease and this beauty of writing and looking at these questions and being in this space of clearing together. I know for myself, but I've had a few people reach out to me and just say, like, something's changing on these subtle levels with their caring for themselves. and they can't even really explain it, which is kind of cool, kind of like elegant and easy. And just what if loving yourself was actually a lot easier than we ever thought? We might think it's so hard. Oh wow, that's so, I just like getting some like energetic downloads of like how hard we think it is, well, to change anything, but especially these things that seem so unchangeable. Like, how do you change the core of how you treat yourself? And not from fight. And a lot of people I know love the boundary word. I don't love the boundary word. They love, like, you have to set boundaries, and I've set boundaries, and this is how they protect their caring for themselves, right? And this is how they protect their time, and this is how they aggress to how they're willing to be treated and how they're not willing to be treated. To me, there's so much work, and I need to change the song again, sorry. Can you just listen to that one? Oh, it's still different. Let's do. Pretty good. What if it was so much easier than all that? When we teach people how to treat us, and the way we treat ourselves is how others will step into treating us. Hi, Mimi. Welcome. So I know for me, like, I've always been one of those people that makes sure like everyone else is taken care of before me. And I'll be like that. Like I've realized how much I taught the people around me to treat me like that. It was like, no, it just get you sorted, and then I can handle me. And that's kind of like how I function. So then they would start to treat me that way, right? And which can be totally fine, but there's certain times, and this is where living off of autoresponders is a terrible idea. But that was my like response system, was if I'm in a group setting, make sure everyone's taken care of, and then I can take care of me. So now everyone's falling in line and everyone's doing that. And over time, there would come up times where maybe I actually required care first. Kind of like if you've ever flown an airplane, they'll have like when the emergency thing comes down, and they're like, if the oxygen mask drops, put it on yourself first, because people will go and like, oh my God, I need to put this on my kid. And then they might not even get it secure. And then they pass out, and the kid doesn't have the ability to put it on you. And then, now they're terrified, and maybe their parent is going to die. So it's like, you have to put your oxygen mask on first, right? Hello, womanhood. Thanks for joining. So yeah, I just went around teaching everyone how to treat me, and how to treat me was always, I'm last on the list. I'm the least important. I don't have a lot of needs. So let's fulfill all the needs. And then if there's any like energy or anything left over, then I'll have some of the scraps, and so that as I'm teaching people to treat me that way, and then they're treating me that way, it kind of is a constant negation of my value. Do any of you see yourself in this in some way? Or maybe you've done the opposite and had to fight for your value. But again, what if there wasn't a fight? There are certain people that have such a caring for themselves and not from proving and not from fight that you step in line and you want to care for them. What if it could be that easy? What if that's what's possible for you as you go into this and hopefully continue this self-love, self-discovery, self-value is like, and then train everyone around you. Teach them a different way to treat you. And it starts with how you treat you. Hello. So how do you treat you? I ask myself a question at the end of the day, every day. How kind was I to myself today? And I'll just kind of check in energetically. It's not always about like doing. Sometimes it's just a sense of like, oh, yeah, I chose a lot of things that were not really honoring of me today or really kind. And sometimes it's like, oh my God, I actually was like so kind to myself today. And I'll just acknowledge whatever it is, not judging myself. If I had a day full of dishonoring me, I just like acknowledge it. And then I ask, what would it take for that kindness to grow? So again, even if I was really, truly kind to myself, what if it could grow? What if there was an unlimited amount of kindness you could have for yourself? Every day, it could grow. You're caring for yourself, your kindness for yourself, and it gives you more for others, not less. Thank you. Yeah. So let's write. So we're going on to our second writing prompt. And again, I always say if you're multitasking, if you're not, or if you don't enjoy writing, you could just kind of ask these questions and ponder it in your own universe. But we're kind of doing this writing series. So I would love for you to spend a little time writing what kindness for you looks like. Okay. So you could just start kindness for me looks like, and you can write like just a list. You could write a story. You could write just free flow, just see what comes out on the page. What kindness looks like to me is. Mm. Few more minutes on that one, guys, and we're gonna go to the last prompt. writing about what kindness looks like for you. And you can even add like true kindness and caring. For me, looks like wisdom. The greatest showman. Okay, so we're going to do a little bit of this fun energy work stuff I do. If you've never heard of yeah, that's difficult for you. Wow. Woo. It's a great awareness, and to look at, like, if you keep asking that question and ask it at different times of the day and start to explore that, the more you ask something, you will access more of it. And if you haven't been, even some of us even avoid what's true for us, because if we knew, then it would be harder to choose against it. Does that make sense? So if I knew that, like, if I knew working as much as I did wasn't kind to me, it would be harder to work as much as I do. Does that make sense? Or, I mean, one thing that came up for me really big was allowance. It was total allowance for myself and where I'm at and what's going on. And imagine just having no expectations of yourself. So keep asking that question. And we're going to do a few clearings. So I play with something called Access Consciousness. And it has this magical tool called the Access Consciousness Clearing Statement. You can go to theclearingstatement.com if you want more information on that. And it is just this magical tool that can clear energy, essentially. Just getting the next song. And so this is how it works, is everything that brought up and let down, will you destroy and uncreate all that? It could be that simple. You can use this and never have to understand what any of this means, and you can use this. So right and wrong, good and bad, POC and POD, all nine shorts, boys, poets, and beyonds. Yes, it does. Just a question I ever asked for myself. That's so cool. Thank you. Well, thank you for being here and sharing that. I think when I first started to look at that, I went to like the reference of what I had seen other people do. Like I didn't actually even ask the question. I was looking for an answer rather than the awareness. And I was like, oh, this is how people are kind to themselves. And I would try and mimic that, but it never actually gave that sense of true kindness and caring until I started to look at it and really, you say yes, sorry, delay, right, wrong, good, bad, talk about all day, towards points, moments, and beyond, to really look at what it is for me and acknowledging that it could be completely different than it is for other people. And what if that's okay? And the more I ask, like, even now, just asking that question here with you guys, I got more awareness of stuff I hadn't even considered before. So these questions, guys, are so amazing because they'll just open up more awareness and then you just get to have more. So anything that doesn't allow your kindness, your acts of kindness and caring for yourself to grow every day. Will you just reign and create all that? Right and wrong, good, bad, pop, bad, all nine shorts, boys, poveds, meons. Hi, Shima. Welcome. We were just looking at what does kindness and caring look like for us? And having some cool chats about that. And you guys can go back and so all these, because we did 8, and so all 8 of these are up on, well, this one will be up on the YouTube channel eventually. So you can go back and check them out and write it again, or, you know, take longer with some of what was coming up and really explore this totally different universe of caring for yourself. I used to get annoyed when people would be like, self-love, yay. I'm like, no one loves themselves. And I just felt like it was this big lie. And I think that was because I didn't love myself. And I didn't really have any examples of many people that actually had true gratitude for themselves, true caring, true kindness for themselves, which to me are elements of like a loving energy. Love can be a tricky word because people wrap a lot of expectation and projection and significance into that word, like the first time you tell someone you love them. Why don't we love everyone all the time? Why do we only love certain people and it has to they have to achieve some level, level up. I'm in love with you now. Hey, Dr. Aiton. And why is that? That's interesting, huh? So it's like a lot of value is placed on what someone does and less on what they be. Oh, you never watched these? Open up Zoom the energy. Oh, yay. Well, I'm so grateful you're here. Yeah. Hi. I always say to people, I was always able to fall in love with someone so quickly, anyone, even outside of romance, because when you really receive someone's being, how can you not fall in love? It's so spectacular. It makes me tear up just to even tap into that. And imagine you had that for you. Imagine you were in such awe of your own being, not your doing, but your being, that you couldn't help but fall in love with yourself. And that's that adoration and gratitude and receiving and kindness and caring. Those are, for me, elements of a loving energy. that's beyond the confines of love, the distraction of love and the suffering of love and all those weird things that get attached to that word. All right, I think we're ready for our last writing prompt. This is the last of the series. I'm almost like a little sad for it to end, but this has been such a gift, and we're gonna do something else, probably play with writing more, because I love writing. And yeah, hopefully you guys have had some fun doing this too. World of kindness for me. Wow. Tearing up. Yay. Makes me tear up. Okay, so this writing prompt, you might need a lot more time with it than what we have today. So please, even if I end and you have time, just keep writing, just keep going. Don't stop. But I kind of thought it would be cool to write an epic love story. And in the story, the main character, you, is going to meet you. And fall in love. Wildly out of control in love with that other character that is you. So everyone's going to have a different way of how this pours out of them. There's no right way, there's no wrong way. I'm going to play some music for us. And oh, actually, you know, the song I'm going to play is actually pretty great. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, you love that? Yay, me too. This song was actually written for me by an incredible musician, Saint Finnegan. And so, yeah, it's like my own personal song. And what gift can it be for you as you write your epic love story? Let's go. That's right. If you think you're not a writer, you can just picture it like a movie in your head. You can write down some random things that show up. You could just write down some of the energies that you're aware of, or just be present with this as all of us go through this together. But this character, you could, you know, picture them. It's you. Not perfect, just you. Just who you actually are. And with total allowance of that being and that moment when they meet themselves. And you know, that like instant, oh my God, wow. And part of like when I look at falling in love, it's like what's falling is all the barriers, all the lies, all the separation is just falling all around you. All the image and the pretense just drops. Yeah. And then in that moment of exposure, you're going to write about this epic love story, about falling in love with yourself, with you, the being, in this incredible body. Hello, welcome, welcome. I'm doing so good. Thank you for asking and being here. We're kind of writing together right now, and we're writing an epic love story about the time when we meet ourselves. So if you want to write along with us or just hang out, you're welcome. Welcome to be here. Describe how you would see yourself from that moment of falling in love. How would you describe, we started with describing beautiful parts of nature. Like, how would you describe you? Not just physically, but all the energies that you're aware of, all the beauty that you're aware of. And what happens in that story? Do you approach yourself? Do you come in slow? Do you move in fast? Alona, thanks for asking. Has blue skies today. Finally. I haven't heard the official update, but I think the fires have turned because it feels like we can all breathe again here. There's so much smoke. So grateful. Few more minutes here, guys, to finish up your epic love story, but you can write more after. Hi, Sunny. Welcome. Having access, being, touches, heard, fire. It's everything. Yeah. Thank you. This is really beautiful to explore this with you guys. It's been a cool journey, and also still feels like the beginning, of something epic. Your epic love story has just begun. What if you truly could every day wake up more and more in love with yourself? Every day curious to discover who you are in that moment, like you would when you're falling in love with someone. You don't expect and you don't predict and you don't define them or confine them. You're like in awe of who they're showing you they are. And you can show yourself who you are today. And just love that beautiful, glorious being. And imagine receiving from you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Again, if you want to catch any of these replays, they're on my YouTube channel. Cassy Summers. And yeah, I wonder what is next for us. What is possible now? A beautiful day or evening. This was an interesting format to do on Instagram. And I'm going to be looking for more fun things to do on Instagram with you guys. So bye for now.